Okay, so this session is about just tidying up one thing that is common across all of the logs that I've given feedback on so far. What you need to do is you need to open up to page 32 and 33, sorry, 33 and 32. So that is how you're going to be marked. You'll get 2 of these sheets back at the end with achieve, not achieve, merit, excellence for each of those 2 standards. It's really important. The thing that you're missing is the bottom part, which says showed ongoing reflection within your evaluation of the strategies. This is for 2.6 on page 33. So if you have a look, turn over the page to page 34 for an achieve for the risk management. So I read it twice, looking at it through the 2.7 criteria, ticking that off as I go, and then I read it looking at it through the 2.6 criteria. So the 2.7, it says that you have to, for an achieve, bare minimum, identify the risks that were inherent in the outdoor activities we did. You have to clearly define the risk management strategies that you used, which are the leadership strategies, all right? Why each risk management strategy was applied before and during the activity, so give me some detail about how you did it. And then giving clear specific examples given to support the analysis, all right? So that's why I've also feedback a lot, you need to put more clear examples, all right? If we go back over the page, for a bare minimum for achieve for the 2.6, you got to define each leadership strategy. You've got to describe and explain how and why each leadership strategy affected the group function. So going back to our group kaupapa, which was to minimise risks through leadership strategies so that everybody could participate effectively. And then this big one here, which we're missing, showed ongoing reflection within your evaluation of the strategies. So what we have done really well is done what we call reflection on action. But reflection in action is missing largely. Reflection on action means we've done the camp, we've done the activity, 3 or 4 days later, weeks later, we look back and we reflect on what happened. Okay? And then we suggest improvements for next time. Reflection in action is the ongoing reflection when you're in the event itself. Alright, so the camp. So it could be either while we were doing mountain biking and you changed something with the mountain biking, which we'll talk about an example in a second. Or it could be that you did mountain biking and that evening you reflected on something that you didn't do so well or you wanted to improve and you then applied that in the tramp or the high ropes. Okay? So here's an example where pretty much for the first one, action planning, everybody's pretty much said that we used the bike test, which is great. We did the positives of that bike test, which was we got to know who was okay on a bike, who was struggling a little bit, etc., etc. That was good. The negatives of that though is everybody's identified that doing a test out there was good, but it actually wasn't specific enough to the mountain biking environment. Because flat ground, few cones is different to being faced with downhills, roots, trees, muddy surfaces, etc. Yep. Which is correct. And you've all told me, well, a lot of you told me, not all of you, but said then you felt like you had no confidence or you weren't motivated enough to go out there in the afternoon for the second session. Okay? And therefore our kaupapa or our group function was at risk. Okay, I could have gone, yep, sweet ass, let's just sit here and do nothing. But what did we do?
Went back out.
You went back out, but what did we do first? What was the strategy we used
Goal setting.
to address this? This is the reflection in action. You recognise something was wrong, and we did something about it. That's essentially right there and then. Not like weeks later where we go, oh, next time I would. We actually did something, which was, we went into goal setting mode. And that is where you would say, for example, here, one thing we did to address it, well, one thing I did to address the problem of having no confidence was we put in the leadership strategy, or I used the leadership strategy of goal setting. I set a goal to concentrate on whatever it was. this did help me because, and I know it helped me because. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, so a bit of theory, if you really want, if you're pushing for those excellences, can you do the scroll down for me, please?